Hello everyone, I'm Babla Jonathan and this is the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital. Douala. In our top stories, Cameroon's Minister of Water and Energy Resources Basil Atanganakuna is being questioned at the Special Criminal Court in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. He has been under questioning at the Special Criminal Court since 11 a.m. and this is coming after he was arrested in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And concerning the senatorial elections, campaigns are ongoing on the field. In this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast, we take you to the southwest region of the country to take a look at how candidates are going about win voters, notably municipal councillors. Those were our top stories. Thanks for joining me in this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television. We begin with news streaming in right away from the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where the former Minister of Water and Energy Resources of the Republic of Cameroon, Basil Atanganakuna, is being questioned at the Special Criminal Court. He was arrested in the Federal Republic of Nigeria by law enforcement officers from the regional police organization Interpol and brought back into the country. And of course, he was escorted by law enforcement officers when he was being brought back into the country, and he has been under serious questioning at the Special Criminal Court in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, since 11 a.m. and the judges are seeking to know from him, the examining magistrates are seeking to know from him how he managed to escape or to go out of the country after he was barred from moving out of the country following his dismissal from government during the last cabinet shake-up by the president of the republic. And of course, it should be noted that he was barred from moving out of the country alongside other government officials, and the examining magistrates at the Special Criminal Court are also seeking to know who helped him to move across the border into the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We shall be coming back to this in greater details in a subsequent news editions. And I told you that in some hours to the 25th of March 2018, that is Sunday's senatorial election in Cameroon, campaigns are going on the ground in the southwest region of the country. Candidates of the different political parties taking part are going about leaving no stone unturned in a bid to be in the spotlight and also to win the heart of voters. And Derek Jato has been following up the candidates in the southwest region. His report.
On the ground, senatorial campaigns are ongoing, with the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement highly visible on the field.
And I'm very, very convinced that come that day we are going to have 100% from the councillors, with all seeing the enthusiasm.
Buyasot Division even saw a political visit of Mr. Jean Kwete, the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement Secretary General. The party hierarchy is aware that all is not well in this part of the country.
Particularly in the case of the southwest region, which is facing a lot of problems. You should know that. In fact, those are different challenges that needed an authority like him to talk to our electorate, and so that they should have.
Seeking another mandate, Senator Mbela Moke Charles say if elected, he will personally assist President Paul Biya in bringing the long-awaited solution to the Anglophone crisis.
Let me tell you, my focus in my second mandate is going to see how I can assist government, and particularly the head of state, in achieving lasting results, a lasting resolution to the ongoing Anglophone problem. That is going to be topical on my agenda in this second mandate.
Of what influence will be the senatorial election on the Anglophone crisis, or the Anglophone crisis on the senatorial election? Question that only time can answer.
In the meantime, some critics say the senators whose mandate has ended have failed in their duties. Derek Jato spoke to some critics in the southwest region of the country who will be making an evaluation of the last mandate of senators in this report.
The councillors head to the polls for the senatorial election this Sunday, March 25, 2018. Some Southwest elite are counting the failures recorded by their own sons and daughters in leadership positions. First, they fail to provide the needs of their people.
We have a big problem of leadership in the Anglophone Cameroon, particularly my own region where I come from, the Southwest. There is nobody to direct people. They all are permanently seated, yet they cannot go to the front, yet they cannot do anything. They cannot do anything.
The need that germinated to a crisis.
As a Southwesterner and as a Cameroonian, it is an unfortunate situation that some of our actions have not helped the national chairman of the civilian. Reasons why the youths have become so vulnerable.
And a crisis that they still failed to prevent from growing in a region they call their own.
For us Anglophones, we have not done anything in relating to this problem. Our leaders have not done anything in relating to this problem. I pray they get up from their sleep.
And now that the Anglophone crisis will soon clock 2 years old, if not solved now, the Southwest elite are still blamed for failing to provide a solution to a crisis they nurture.
There should be a national dialogue, and this dialogue should not be occupied by the old, the very old, that these same people, this same youth. I want to say that the people affected in this crisis are the youth, and they are disgruntled because of these same people.
For the past 1 year, 6 months or so, there have been a lot of broken relationships in the Southwest region.
Those people who are in the bushes, how do I sit and feel freely that my brothers are sleeping inside the bush from Fakwa, Nake, Akwaya, Ndop, I mean all these places, and then some are in Nigeria begging for food when we throw food in Cameroon. The killings are so many. Innocent people are dying. They are starving. They are homeless.
Mr. Tabot Lawson, CBDM section president of Meme 1A in Komba, is saddened by the life-threatening conditions of the 20,000 registered Southern Cameroonian refugees in Nigeria.
There have been rampant killings, whether be it from the side of the military or the side of the common man. The common man is suffering. When I watched the video you brought from Nigeria, where I saw Cameroonians begging for food when we are coming from a land of plenty, it makes me cry anytime I imagine that video. That Cameroon that was hosting refugees, thousands and thousands, today we have become refugees because of our own internal conflict. I pray that this situation should be brought to understanding.
Economic activities are all grounded in the Southwest region. For instance, parastatals like palm oil is now limping. The insecurity along the Ekombe, Mbonge Kwakwa Ekondo Titi corridor risks sending thousands from their jobs. To Mr. Efande John Lyonga, the second deputy mayor of the Buya Council, the sit-tight old guards have given the Anglophone youth reason to go astray.
The people who are against the state have taken advantage because the youth see no future. Everything is blocked by the elderly. So how do you blame the youth? So anybody who comes to deceive them, they'll come, oh, there's manna this way, they just fall prey to it.
As the councillors...
Derek Jato reporting there on the evaluation of the work of senators, the senators whose mandate has ended, and of course indicating there that they have failed in the responsibilities, in the things that they are supposed to have done in their respective areas. And of course, we're still talking about the senatorial election ahead of Sunday's poll here in the Republic of Cameroon. UPC councillors are divided, notably those in the Nyong and Kele division of the central region of the country. Some want to vote candidates of the CPDM on grounds that their party is in an alliance with the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, while others want to vote the party's candidate. Rabiatu Aliyu has more.
The Union de Population du Cameroon UPC political party split into opposing camps ahead of Sunday's senatorial election. Some of the party's municipal councillors are bent on voting the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement (CPDM), while others want to vote for UPC candidates. 125 municipal councillors in the Nyong-Aikele division have decided to unite and vote for the CPDM, although the party has candidates for senatorial election in the Central region. And this is the 7-candidate list published by the Secretary General. The UPC municipal councillors in the Central region who strongly believe in the UPC-CPDM alliance say they are determined to vote for President Paul Biya's party.
Nous avons décidé.
Honorable Bapol Lepo, a UPC member of parliament, and others are convinced that voting for the CPDM is the ultimate way to guarantee a place in the Senate as far as the Central region is concerned. Everything being equal, UPC municipal councillors in Matom, Ezeka, Makok, Bot Makak, and Go Mapumbi in Nyong-Aikele division will cast their vote for the CPDM Sunday.
In the report coming up next, EQUINOXE takes a look at the illegal sale of vegetable oil of doubtful quality, of course from doubtful sources, on markets across the Republic of Cameroon. And experts have been condemning this regarding the negative and devastating impact of such oil, the consumption of such oil on the population. EQUINOXE, fancy details.
Empty water bottles are frequently being used to measure vegetable oil in markets by traders all over Cameroon. Risk factors are neglected by traders and consumers who care less of the origin of the oil types and how they were produced for consumption. Jacques Kemle Chabgou, Secretary General of the Association of Vegetable Oil Refiners, says,
On a des huiles dans le marché qui n'ont pas de traçabilité.
We have different types of oil in the market whose origins and quality are doubtful. So, we all consume what we don't know. Health of consumers as a result is jeopardized.
La santé du consommateur est très menacée à ce niveau.
Despite efforts to completely boot out doubtful and poor quality forms of oil from the markets by vegetable oil refiners, the non-conformity products still decorate markets in Cameroon.
Nous sommes rendus compte que on vend encore des huiles non enrichies au Cameroun.
Government has spent over 10 million francs CFA to ensure this doubtful vegetable oil disappears from the market for reliable ones, which will improve standards of living. We won't relent efforts to eradicate this prevailing phenomenon.
On ne sait pas ce qu'on achète, on ne sait pas qui a produit, on ne sait pas où ça vient, sortent définitivement du marché.
Vegetable oil refiners also criticize state officials of high tax levy on made in Cameroon vegetable oil, thereby discouraging producers to export.
Lorsque des opérateurs font un effort pour manufacturer localement un produit,
though will favor consumption of quality vegetable oil by Cameroonians, income earned by Cameroon will drop.
Parce que c'est trop taxé, parce qu'ils sont plus compétitifs.
Whatever be the case, agents advocating for consumption of healthy vegetable oil have pledged to match words with action, this time around by giving zero availability of doubtful and low quality vegetable oils in Cameroonian markets.
Coming up next, we talk health with medical doctors who are converged on Douala, coming from Cameroon, other parts of the African continent, and of course Europe, under the umbrella of an association of doctors, Med-Camer, striving to improve health care in hospitals across the Republic of Cameroon. They have been working hard to see that services offered to the population are improved, considering the fact that there are a lot of loopholes, there are a lot of flaws, and of course shortcomings in the services that are offered to patients across the Republic of Cameroon, different health and private, public and private health amenities in the country. They are converged on Douala within the context of an international conference on public health. The conference runs from the 23rd to the 24th of of March 2018 here in the economic capital Douala. We shall be bringing to you images of that story in a subsequent news edition. In the meantime, we'll be receiving in the second part of this news edition one of the participants. We're talking about Dr. Keme Marilyn. She is the Vice President in charge of communication and external relationship of MedCame, and she's of course a medical doctor. We'll be talking with her in Talking Point tonight. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us in Talking Points. We are receiving a medical doctor. She is the Vice President in charge of communication and external relationship in the MedCame, an association of medical doctors. Dr. Keme, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're a Cameroonian. When you look at the way hospitals are functioning in the Republic of Cameroon today, the services offered to the population, what's your take on the cry of the population concerning the poor services that are offered to the population on a daily basis in hospitals, public and private hospitals?
I am touched as a human being and as a medical doctor. That's why I rejoined MedCame, because in MedCame we strive to improve our healthcare environment in Cameroon. So that's the main point of our organization. And that's why we came to understand that medical doctors, I mean general practitioners, are the first contact with the population. That's why we organized that interdisciplinary healthcare conference to improve the knowledge of general practitioners.
According to you, from your observation, what accounts for the poor services? Is it poor training? Is it because many people, as it is said, get into the profession just for money making? What is the problem? Why is it that in public and private hospitals patients are not well treated always?
There are many problems actually. One of them is when you get graduated in Cameroon, you don't have continuing education after your graduation. That is one of the problems. You can encounter a doctor with 20 years of knowledge, medical knowledge, but medicine is evaluating each year. So you may encounter someone who has to update his knowledge in medicine. That's one of the problems. The second problem may be that the population doesn't have a medical education. Actually, people don't know what is my body when I don't feel pain, because people come to the hospital when they have pain already. Instead of that, they will not come for a checkup. They will not come to to make sure that everything is okay. So we have the problem of the population that doesn't have any medical education. So there are these two aspects that are very important to improve, so that our medical environment can change.
But we have seen cases even in the most popular of public hospitals, like the Lakentini Hospital here in the economic capital Douala, where people have died because of poor treatment.
Of course. In another hand, we don't have healthcare covers. We don't have any insurance. When you come to the hospital in Cameroon, if you don't have money, you will die. That's the reality in our country. We should work on health coverings in order to have some kind of package in a hospital, so that a woman coming from Bamenda, for example, who is Bayam-Selam, who is selling fruits in the market, can have the same treatment as, for example, a medical doctor or somebody else who has more money can have too. So there is some kind of disbalance between the treatment that you can have in the hospital in our country, because there is no setup as a package of management, primary primary care management at the hospital. So that's one of the problem too.
Now, you're one of the participants at the International Conference on Public Health organized by CAMED here in the economic capital, Douala. What is this conference bringing as far as solutions to these problems that you're enumerating are concerned?
First of all, the conference is about most of the topics that we are encountering in our practice, in our daily practice. For example, EKG's interpretation, how to interpret an EKG, for example. This is a special analysis that for the heart. When you are, for example, in Bamenda or in a far located region of the country, you can, know how to describe and interpret an EKGs. We talked about, for example, heart injuries, thorax injuries, how to recognize it in X-ray, for example. We talked about infertility in women and in men, how to recognize, how to treat. And we talked about profile career for a general practitioner, how to improve by ourselves, because I told you that earlier that we don't have any continuing education programs, national program like that. No. So how can a general practitioner by himself improve his knowledge in order to meet up
with the evolutions
exactly, and to update the management, to improve the management of his patients. So we have many different topics like that to improve the knowledge, and in order to because the final target is our patients actually, so that we should better manage the treatment, the diseases in our patients.
Are you calling on government to institute a continuous training program for medical doctors in Cameroon?
Yes, that would be very great, because for Medcama is the very first conference, and we are heading to have many of them like that for the years coming. So if there is a national program like that, because a few years ago we had conferences actually. That's our professors, they say that they had conferences earlier, but what happened? So now we want to re-begin, if I may talk like that, those kind of exercise, because we encounter a lot of specialists. We had, for example, Professor Mwafo, Professor Pefora, those huge specialists that we have here, and they are teaching us, they are improving our knowledge in medical skills,
So in a nutshell, you want to get the medical practitioners up to date.
Exactly.
To update their knowledge on some issues.
Yes.
And is this going to come like a solution to the situations in which we have seen people dying, not because they were sick, but because of poor mastery of a certain evolution in a certain particular illness or something?
Well, this is one of the solution. Unfortunately, it's one of the solution, because as I told you about 3 targets actually. We want to be the first step of the solutions that our government are going to set up for our medical environment actually. We want to be a strong medical team, so that even if I have a patient, even if he doesn't have money, but I will give the right diagnosis for him, and I will direct him, for example, in a better hospital, but I will not leave him like that without any idea of what he's suffering of, So we first of all became strong medicals, and after we give a strong message to our government, so help us out to ameliorate our environment, because we are all patients actually. We didn't fall medical doctors. We came from mothers, we have our fathers, etc. So we are all Cameroonians. So this work is really about improving our medical, environment.
So how far do you intend to go with this initiative? You're the communication officer or the vice president in charge of communication of CAMED.
Yes, we are going to talk about it. We have many, by our network, we have Facebook pages, we have WhatsApp groups, we have our site. So we are going to talk about it to spread all the knowledge that we got from the professors, all the teachings, and make sure that everybody the medicals are going to have the return of this conference. And next year we will improve the quality of the conference too, because we have many ideas, many other colleagues that told us that, okay, think about this. So we are going to, increase the quality of this conference next year.
Have you sent words to government? Proposals?
Yes, of course. We send words to government. Actually, we call it the manifest. That's the manifest. We have it in our site. It's a document where we are talking about all the problems that we have in our healthcare system and what solutions we are proposing. So the government is aware of Medcamer's proposal and they are working on that.
And you're of course expecting a reaction from the Ministry of Public Health?
Of course.
All right, Dr. Keme Merlin. Thanks so much for coming. You are the Vice President in charge of Communication and External Relationship of CAMED.
Thank you very much for having us.
CAMED, right.
Yes.
I got it right. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for this edition of the 6 p.m. Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.